Hey guys, so something really cool dropped. It's the All-Star Super Mission 1. One of the big rewards you get right off the bat is an All-Star Character Selector ticket. So this is pretty big. You get a pretty decent list of characters to choose from past events, a lot of the holiday events that you may have missed. This is actually really cool. I'm excited for this. Now, I know a lot of people are having questions on who should they pick. So I'm going to do my best to kind of give you some pointers, maybe some of my thoughts of who I think some of the best characters are, and some of my reasoning behind that, and then maybe some runner-ups. First really strong character is going to be Halloween Kula. She was one of the earlier characters you could get in the global side of things, and she's still pretty strong now. She's still a force to be reckoned with, and here's one of the main reasons is, if you go down here, is her cores. So one of the big ones is she has a 50% chance to freeze an enemy for 1 second when attacked. And that has a 12-second cooldown, but that's a really good move. Such a good defensive move. If somebody's comboing you, they're likely going to get frozen, so you have a chance to get out of it and retaliate. That move's nuts. Next one that's notable here, increases active skill damage dealt to frozen enemies by 25%. And that's relevant because she's got a move that can freeze somebody here. But mainly the reason she's so strong is the 50% chance to freeze an enemy for 1 second. So really strong character, mostly for that core. Everything else is good with her too, but like the rest of her skills are just kind of like ideal damage. It's only the other one that freezes. So she's one of the top contenders though, basically just for that core. And she's like an attack unit, you know, you can do a lot, you can put her on a lot of different teams. Alright, another really strong character is Wonderland Yuri here. She's got a good leader skill, first of all, and her cores are really good too. So if we come over here, first one increases attack equal to 35% of defense. I'm sorry, 35% of defense for 30 seconds upon landing an active skill. That has a 45-second cooldown. So 45 seconds is a long time. You may only be able to use this once, depending on what mode you're in, but 35% of defense and it's a 30-second thing, you know, so that's a long time. That's really buff. And the next one, she gains super armor for 3 seconds when HP is 70% or less. Now 70% is not hard to get to. I mean, that could be like one string or a couple hits from some people, right? So then you gain super armor. That has a 12-second cooldown, much like Kula's core. This is also a really good defensive cooldown. So she's got a really good attack and a really good defense cooldown. I mean, core. Bleh. And her skills are good too. So she can freeze somebody. The next one, it has a chance to increase one of the following stats by 10% for 7 seconds, either attack or defense. So, and then another one just deals damage. But these are two good moves. One that's just going to increase your attack, which obviously is good. And even if it increases her defense, that is also increasing her attack due to her core. So that's why Yuri in Wonderland is also a very good character to choose. Vanessa's up next. Also a very strong character. Her cores here, increase crit rate by 7% for 5 seconds for each attack. And that resets on landing a crit hit. So you're just going to keep on building up crit until you actually land a crit, and then it will start over. So that's a really good skill. That will kind of even out her damage, make her more consistently doing a lot of damage. So that's what you want. Next one, increases active skill damage by 7% for 5 seconds for each attack. And that stacks up to 5 times, and the effect is removed when attacked. So as long as you're not getting hit, you're going to do a bunch of damage with this girl, and she's a force to be reckoned with here. And her skill is really neat. Applies one of the following effects for 0.4 seconds when successful, even when they're blocking. So it either stuns, freezes, or petrifies them. So they ain't going nowhere, even if they're blocking, if you hit them with this. That's really cool. And big one, this move, you gain super armor for 1 second when using the skill. So anytime a character has super armor, it's good. So if you wanted to, you could go through these lists of characters and just find who has super armor and know that they're going to be one of the better picks. For the most part. Plus, she looks like a gangster sitting in that chair. Alright, next character I think is pretty dang good is Swimsuit Angel. She's kind of similar to Wonderland Yuri, but in slightly different ways. I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. So the first one I want to point out is she increases attack equal to 20% of her defense for 30 seconds upon landing the active skill, and it's 45 seconds. So this is a lot like Yuri's. It's weaker, so it's just a weaker version of Yuri's, which is a little bit unfortunate, but she has some things that maybe might make up for that. So her other core increases defense by 6% for 5 seconds for each attack. Now that stacks up to 3 times and deals additional poison damage equal to 5% of attack. So she's building up her attack and she's putting a poison on. And if you look at her skill, she has super armor to where Wonderland Yuri gains super armor just when she's dropped down to 70%, which is good, don't get me wrong, but this is one you can control a little bit more on your move here. And she has a stun. So they both have their pros and cons. Maybe Yuri's a little bit better, but Swimsuit Angel is definitely a contender in my opinion. Athena in Wonderland is also pretty good. I'll just go over her real quick. She increases active skill damage by 30% and ultimate move damage by 30% for 7 seconds when power is 2% or more. And so to combo with that, she increases her power gauge by 1% every 1 second. So she's really good at building up her power gauge and being really buff when she does that. And her skills are good too. Increases attack percentage for 7 seconds. And this next one deals one of the following damage equals to 11% of attack upon landing a skill every 1 second for 7 seconds. Basically, she has a chance to dot you in some way. Either burn, bleed, poison, chill, or shock. Which is good. Alright, next one I want to mention is Lady Asura. So her core is, upon landing a crit hit, deals shock damage equal to 2 times the remaining shock damage and remove the shock effect and stun the enemy for 2 seconds. So she's got, I'm going to show you in a second, but she's got 2 moves that shock you. So you can put the dots on them and then boom, in a big burst, deal all that damage and stun them. So that's pretty strong. And this next one increases active skill damage dealt to shocked enemies by 20%. So your skills are going to do so much more when the enemy is shocked, and it's going to be easy to do that because you got 2 moves that shock people. The first one, deal shock damage equal to 10% of attack to the target every 1 second for 7 seconds upon landing the skill. And the next one is deals 11%. So you have 2 ways to shock them, and then with your core, boom, it's going to do a big burst damage. So she can dot them, and she can do burst and stun with the core. So I think she's pretty good. Does a lot of damage, but she doesn't have like the survivability with the super armor and things like that. That's why I'm kind of putting her below the others. Not that what I've been mentioning so far is an exact tier list or anything, just ones I think are pretty good, but I do think she might be a little bit below the ones I've mentioned previously. Alright, so now I'm going to do some honorable mentions. Halloween Party Angel is good. I like her cores are pretty interesting. Increases crit rate by 7% for 5 seconds upon landing a successful basic attack, and it resets upon critting, so it's another one of those things where you're building up your crit. And the next one inflicts poison damage equal to 20% of attack upon landing a crit hit. 20% is pretty big dot. Her skills aren't quite as buff here. She does have a pretty beefy, inflicts 20% poison damage to target every 1 second for 7 seconds upon landing the skill. So she's just got a poison. It's a pretty beefy one, but that's her skills are where she's lacking a little bit more. But hey, grabs on grabs on grabs, so it'd be fun to play. I think some of the grab characters are more fun to play. Maybe not the best, but fun. Oh, I do want to mention before I forget, I'm not saying to get Chang, but I do want to mention that he has a link skill with Lady Chang that is insane. So if you have her and you like her, you use her, she's like one of your mains, and you don't have the Christmas Chang, check out this this link skill, man. Increases attack equal to 15% of defense, and increases power by 1% every 1 second, and recovers 2% upon killing an enemy. That is pretty beefy. I just remember seeing that and going, holy crap, that's a really good link skill and such an unexpected link between the two characters. Another honorable mention is Winter Holiday Leona. She has a lot of healing and sustain. You see she recovers 7% when critting and increases crit rate by 50% when HP is 70% or less. So 70% is easy to get to, and it's cool that she gets a pretty big boost of crit, which will also heal her. So she's good at healing and staying alive, and she does some shock damage too, so honorable mention. Whip is okay too. If you come down here, she's good at doing stuff where she's killing enemies or having a lot of enemies on the field, so she increases attack by 5% for 10 seconds upon destroying an enemy. That can stack up to 5 times, so that can be nuts. So if she's doing stuff and she's killing lots of little dudes, she can get a huge attack boost. And she gets crit rate if there's more than 2 enemies on the field. So she's good at killing lots of guys. She has poison, decreases defense, so she's somebody to mention. Other than that, like maybe Swimsuit Kula or Swimsuit Mai, they have some cool things going for them, but definitely wouldn't pick them over the others. Also on day 7, you're going to get to pick a battle card for the characters I just mentioned here, basically. So you can pick whatever one you want. I would strongly advise you not to pick the ones that are like kind of common, like Chang, Yuri, you know, Mai, Andy. I wouldn't pick those for obvious reasons. You can make them; they're not that hard to get. I'd get like one of the more rare ones. But that's going to depend heavily on what you have and who you pick, so I can't really give you a recommendation other than just don't pick the common ones. Okay, so I haven't used my ticket yet, so who am I going to pick? So as you can see, I have some of these characters, and they happen to be in my opinion, some of the stronger ones. Like, I got Halloween Kula, I got... who was some of the other strong ones here? I got Yuri in Wonderland. I got Vanessa in Wonderland. I got Swimsuit Angel. I have some of the others too. And this is all just like dumb luck, right? So I'm not like bragging or anything, but I just happen to have some of the stronger ones. So I think what I'm going to do... is pick Lady Yashiro, because I already have her special card. I just happened to get it when I was rolling for it. So I might get Lady Yashiro, and I might pick like Vanessa's battle card maybe, because I don't have it, and I have Vanessa in Wonderland. I might change my mind as far as the battle card goes. We'll see. So you can see here I have her battle card, but I don't have Vanessa's. I'm not saying to let the battle card dictate what character you choose, but I think that's what I want to do, looking at all my options here. So yeah, so I'll get Lady Asura. I was trying really hard to get this character whenever the banner was out, because I wanted to use her on my Orochi team. And now I kind of filled that spot with cheerleader Shermie, which I think she's better, but... I'll still get Lady Yashiro because I think she's cool and might be fun to play. Plus, I got a battle card, so let's get her. Yep. Alright, awesome. Alright guys, so that was a look at the All-Star character tickets and who I think is some of the better characters. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Now, I'm not saying everything I said was gospel or anything, or even in a direct tier list in the order that I did. You know, roughly is what I think, but not written in stone or anything. But I want to know what you guys think. I want to know what you guys picked. I love hearing people's takes and opinions. Did you go for the waifus? Did you go for the strongest? Did you go for the strongest waifu? Let me know in the comments below. I know it was kind of a dull video, no intro or anything, but a little bit more informational. Wanted to get it out quick as I could at least. I'd really appreciate it if you'd like, comment, and subscribe, even if this helped you even a little bit, or didn't help you whatsoever. Thank you guys. Enjoy the game. If you're doing any summoning, I wish you luck. God bless you, and you have a blessed day, y'all.